All right, I think I might be coming in a little choppy just because the intro did that to me, but let's say it's working. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RS Trains. My name is Corey, and oh boy, we have potentially one of the biggest Sunday Rundays tonight. Because not only are we having the one and only RBP Trains on, Chris, but I realize there's a lot of other things going on today that I think we also have to celebrate. I'm gonna have to do, I guess, the stream for today next week because today my everybody today is the birthday of RS Trades. 3 years ago today I made this channel, and I just realized in my about section, I mean, I'd always knew the date, but it just kind of crept on at me out of nowhere. So it would have been, well, we're still going to celebrate the birthday of RS Trains, but I think we might want to do the big celebration if we're going to do that thing or whatever. Heck, if I even want to get a cake with my channel thing on it, I think we should do that because, I don't have one at the ready or anything. All I have is about a cookie. That's about it. So, but yeah, I think next weekend, since this weekend we got Chris, of course, and it's the RS Train / RBP stream. But I think next weekend we'll do the celebration of 3 years on YouTube of the RS Train story. Dang, that sounds like a good documentary. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you all are having a fantastic night tonight. A lot of things are going on today, of course. Like I said, again, and for everyone else coming in, thank you all for being here. We are going to have a blast tonight, of course. A lot of things going on today. It's my channel's birthday. We got over here, for those of you who have been asking for age. Oh, no, wait. I'll do both cameras. But for those who have been asking for ages, when you gonna do something on the O scale layout? Boom! It's kind of hard to see, but let me show you. We got the upper loop extension, and it's about time. For ages, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get that upper loop extension, and it's in, baby. Let me show you. All right, let's turn around this camera. So as you can see, here we go. It is in, and it is fully functional, everybody. I was running some trains on it earlier. Seems that most of my trains can surprisingly make this. This is about a 4 to 5% grade, so especially over there. Steeper than Saluda, but in model train world, any Lionel can take it. So we finally got that thing up, and way up here, we got the tubular track loop. I redid it. It has a little station at it, so yeah. We got a lot of other things going on too tonight, of course. So again, I got to call out some people in chat. We got to do, I guess, our shout outs. So the first person I can see on my thing is Harrison. Hello, Harrison. Thank you for swinging in. Harrison is currently in Maine right now. So if you lose your signal out of nowhere, Harrison, I understand. We got Matt Galloway, 418, saying hello. We got NEC Life, hello. We got Trainer 97. I just see Big Boy 4014, and now I feel like this is just going to be a big boy stream all of a sudden. We got Brendan's Trains, hello. We got Trainer 97 again, of course. Trainer 97 is everywhere tonight. Let's see. We have, of course, myself, Early Gang. There's no longer any Early Gang because now we're all here. We got the RW. We got CJ. Hello. Man, we got everyone tuning in. Hey, we got Dan's Real Fan Adventures. Dan, hello. Good to see you again. We got, let's see, coming in next around the bend. Man, I got to scroll down quite a bit. We got the old Ohio Angler. We got Devon. Man, everyone's here tonight. I love it. We got Phantom AFOL. Let's see. We got Isaiah Hawkins. We got Chris, the man himself, of course. We got Cat Nuts. Hey, we got 1-800 Clyde. Everyone's here tonight. We got TNH 2906 Productions. Hello. Man, hey, we got Apple Napkins Railroad. Again, I say it. Hey, we got Amtrak Lover 205. Everyone is here. We got Birdsy saying it's twins. But yeah, so I'm going to scroll down a little more just to try to catch up. But yeah, again, I love it when y'all chat. It's great to see y'all talk amongst yourselves because it takes so long to get to the bottom already. The more I talk and don't look at chat, it gets so behind. We got Trademan 1993. Hello. Yeah, happy birthday. Not my birthday, it's the channel's birthday, but happy birthday, RS Trades. Happy 3 years. Thank you, Nick. Hello as well, Nick. Let's see. Got to keep scrolling down. Oh, we got RW. No. This ain't the birthday stream. No donations. No, thank you. But thank you very much, the RW. We got Conroe 8098. Hello, hello. We got CSX Engine 319 Fit 3194 Rail Fan saying hello, Corey. It's Connor. Hey, Connor. Hello. How you doing tonight? Man, everyone's here. Hey, we got Del Hudson. We got the DNH Club here tonight, baby. You got to see what Chris will be running later. It's really great. We got GRP 24. Hello, hello. Hey, we got Real Toy Train saying, "What's up, Train fam?" I feel like I need some confetti guns every time I read "What's up, Train fam." You know, it feels natural. But hey, fun to see you here, man. Everyone's here, so I'm gonna have to scroll a little bit to the bottom of chat here. Let's see. All right. So, yep, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Orange Trends. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, anyways, again, we got Heath. Blame it on Heath. Nah, nothing tonight. Blame it on Bob over there. In fact, we got the double Bob cam. We have Bob and Bob 2, Burger King Bob. So, yeah, always fun. But yeah, says, congratulations on finishing. Hey, thank you very much, Heath. Yeah, the HO layout is done, but it's gotten some pretty good progress. And then, Heath, if you just got in here, I got the upper loop extension in, so now I can run a train. I'm not going to be running many trains tonight, but I can now run a train from the inner loop to the outer loop, bring it into the yard down there, then turn it around at the Y and run it up the upper loop. It's a lot of operations, but I've always wanted this, you know. In the old streams before the edition, you'd always hear me say, "I wish I had more things to do." Boom! Now I got more things to do, so it's a lot of fun. Let's see. So Trainer 97 says, "I would like to announce that Sunday Runday number 34 marks the return of my train driving theater, starring 5 new trains. Dang. Ready to enjoy the show." Yeah, boom. I got the what's the thing? I really wish I had the intermission thing where it's the popcorn and the soda and the candy bar walking together. Like, let's all go to the lobby. That's an oldie. Only older kids. Do they still do that? I don't know. Probably older kids will remember that one. But yeah, anyways, for those who are coming in right now, hello, welcome to Sunday Runday. My name is Corey. As you can, I still don't get the orientation on this thing right, but we got Corey Ward right there. RS Trains. It's my. We got a lot again going on tonight. I'm just about to have Chris on here. Chris, RBP Trades, the one and only. We got the O gauge layout extension all done there, and of course, if you haven't already and you'd like to go watch the Littleville video, I have I know the dark side. I have a small little HO layout. I have a little bit of the dark side, you could say, but yeah, I have the HO layout over there. Just finished it. Actually, yesterday I got the telephone pulls up. So, but I'm not going to show Littleville off this stream. It's a strictly O gauge stream. You can call it that today. But yeah, again, thank you all so much for coming in. And some other news around the hobby for local rail fans, you know, upstate New York area. Hal T. Raven / Raven Rail LLC need your help. If you know where Eagle Bridge is, where that old station is, they're going to be cleaning up the railroad station by cleaning up the debris around it. So if you like that type of stuff, volunteering and stuff, go contact Hal. It's going to be a lot of fun. That poor station is sat in the shrubs for like, I don't know, 60, ever since it got abandoned in the 50s. So it's going to be a lot of fun to clean that up. And also for local DNH fans who might have not heard the news, unfortunately last night, our very dear friend Jim Lafayette, a very long time DNH employee, peacefully passed away with his fight of cancer. So I guess I wore the shirt in honor tonight of Jim, even though Jim wasn't too big of a fan of the 628s. It's one of the only DNH shirts I got. So I got the shirt and I fired up the railroad lantern earlier today. I'll be posting some pics later in memory of Jim. So make condolences go out to his friends and family, of course. So I'll miss Jim. Jim had a lot of great stories. I didn't know him too much, but I talked with him twice, and boy, he has some great railroad stories. So I know a few of my buddies who documented a lot more stories, of course, sat down with them many times. So hopefully, I can't wait to see. One of my friends is working on a book about the DNH, and he got lots of Jim stories. So I really can't wait to see those be published, of course, because I can't wait to read about them. But yeah, anyways, I think it's about time. Oh yeah, Ed Asner as well. Yeah, the guy who voiced what was it? Yeah, Carl from Up. He passed away too today. But yeah, so I guess you could say that we dedicate the stream to Jim. I'll get some DNH stuff on later today or tonight for the layout. But yeah, I guess anyways, we need a drum roll in chat. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. But I think it's about time we have our guest of the hour on. So I guess, I don't know. Y'all know how the deal works with the little drum roll emoji if you have one and you can find that. But yeah, so I guess drum roll emoji time. I think it's about time we have the man, the myth, the legend, RBP Trains on. I feel like I wish I had a little countdown ticker in the corner, be like 10, 9, like a NASA thing or something. There you go. All right, Dan's Railfan Adventures is on. So I guess without further ado, yeah, I got it right. Yeah, I remember how I used to say further or do. Oh, I don't know why I said that. I didn't know. I thought that's how you said it. I know. I learned eventually. I have a lifetime ahead of me of just learning English. But anyways, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Chris, RBP Trains. Chris, oh, wait, you coming in? All right, there we go. The man, the myth, the legend. Chris, how you doing tonight?
Fantastic, man. How are you, Corey?
I'm doing all right. It's been a long day, but again, lots of work got done on the layout. And also, I know my family's going to want me to show off this, but my Ford tailgate, I got hung up right there. It's a big old rusty Ford tailgate. And they're like, we spent all day working on that. If you're not going to show it off, then what was it? What was worth it? But yeah,
you have all the good memorabilia in your room. I don't have anything like that. So I got a long way to go to catch up to you.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's can empty your pockets pretty quick, some of this stuff. Just like the model trains.
This whole hobby empties your pockets, trust me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Just like just this caboose alone. I think this thing was like, well, it's very nice, but I don't know. Just this caboose alone, probably like $100. So for those who are new to the O-Gauge hobby, it's a lot of fun, but just warning you, expect to see something like this a lot. Empty pockets, yes. Just saying. But yeah, so Chris, it's an honor to have you on. Yeah, I've known Chris. Chris has started earlier this year. Surprisingly, your chat. People would think, oh, he's probably been on YouTube for years now. But no, Chris, when did you start your channel? Because I know it wasn't long ago.
Sometime in February. It was cold outside, and I've been watching a whole bunch of channels, for the last several years. And I mean, really, when we were all stuck inside last year, I just sort of binged YouTube. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I should start, my own channel. So one cold night in February, I strapped a camera to a flat car and made a video and put it on YouTube and just kind of stayed with it. So it's been a fun ride. It's been fun to get to know everybody like yourself, Corey. And, you and I connected early on, and I got your hat.
Yeah. Woo.
I don't look great in hats. So
He got his. It's a decorative piece. It's a decorative piece. There you go. But yeah, so I can't remember when, but it was just kind of when I was in the Sunday RUNDAY things, because I've almost been doing them for about a year now. Crazy to think. Actually, someone in chat find the first Sunday RUNDAY, not now, of course, but when I did it so we can prepare for the 1-year anniversary. But yeah, it was. I remember in winter, like March or so. I just remember one day seeing Chris comment on one of my videos. It was RBP Trains. I went and checked them out, and you had probably like, what, 50, 100 subscribers around them. Like, all right, I'll subscribe. This guy's pretty cool. And I can't describe it. It's almost like a mushroom cloud, just boom. Chris, you have to be right now probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular train guys I know. So I guess I gotta say, did you ever think when doing YouTube you would ever get this big?
Well, no, and I still, there's so many people out there that have been doing this for so much longer. So I'm learning a lot as I go. And I think it's just been, I don't know if it's the times we're in or what it is, but it's this online community. We had to kind of turn from your traditional show and visiting people's layouts to finding people through social media and YouTube. And I think that's what's really been great is I've gotten to meet this community, and they've really been supporting me, and I've been able to share stuff and kind of learn from how everyone else is doing stuff on their channels. And that's just trying to keep up. Right. And it's been great. A lot of people have been sort of catching on, and we've been having a good time with it.
Definitely. That's the thing.
My weekly outlet, to create these videos.
Yeah. Boom. There you go.
It's been a great therapy for me. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I kind of feel like I can't remember if you saw, I guess my weird quote it was, but when I had GFW on, kind of like the whole COVID, I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was kind of that, although COVID was such a terrible thing, and well, still is, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise for some of us, because it opened all these doors that never would have been possible without it, like the whole streams and stuff like that. Those became really popular. I don't know if GFW is here, but they're GFW Trains Fast Friday, that came from COVID. And from there, that's really where I mostly know all the O-Gauge guys from. If it wasn't for that, I don't even know if I'd really know anybody in this. Well, I know people in this hobby, but as many, or just be able to have
Sure.
like the great audience I have.
Yeah, and it's been the same way. I was feeling lonely, and you couldn't really get together. And once I started doing this and started talking to people, it just kind of drew me in further, and I wanted to do more things, and looking at different types of trains. I mean, that's really what I've always been all about, is collecting different types of trains. And you realize you have so many people out there with similar interests, and people that I admire and respect, and have really been just kind of pulling ideas from them as well. So it was you're right. It was a blessing and a curse at the same time. It had some unexpected advantages around the community.
And that's the thing, though, that when I always talk to hobby store guys, they always say as much as COVID hurt them, like almost model train sales for them, if they were doing things online, went through the roof because everyone was at home. We had nothing to do. So we started working on the layout, and then we saw the catalogs like, hey, we want this. So I know a lot of the guys I talk to, they say, well, there wasn't much in-person thing. Like the hobby stores I go to now are pretty much back to normal, but like last year, these guys weren't seeing many people in person, if they were even open. But some of the guys I'd talked to said that their online sales were doing like through the roof, So yeah, I guess it is appropriate. Oh wait, Apple Napkin says October 18th. Thank you, Apple Napkins. But yeah, how it can be like a blessing in disguise, but also I guess a curse, you could say, at the same time. But for some of the people, I don't know if any of you are not aware of Chris. Chris has been everywhere over the model railroading thing. But for those who don't know, and I know it's always complicated to ask this question, but Chris, how did you get into model trains? For those who might not know, I guess the origins of RBP trains.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos that I posted about my father, and my father was the nexus for how I started in this. When I was a kid, I would have, with all my, preschool toys on the floor, there was always a model train. And for the longest time, we only had the one. And it was this Mark set that my dad got when he was 13 years old or something like that. And we always played with it. We would put action figures in it or run things over with it. And it was just a good time. And, as we got older, there was a store. And luckily that store has been, not many people can say this, I have a store in my town that's been there since I was a kid. And even today, it's still there. And we would always visit it around Thanksgiving time and add something. And as we got a little bit older, Dad started adding like some of the newer technology, like the TMCC engines. And I remember the year that we got, our Cab 1 controller. Then I remember the year that he got Legacy. And I remember the year that he bought his first scale Berkshire. And ever since then, it kind of took off. And then when I graduated college and got married and moved out, I kind of just kept going with it. And last year, it really kind of snowballed for me. That's when I built this layout. It's pretty new, built in November of last year.
Dang, the whole thing.
It was on my floor. So it was just track on my floor, and I would take it apart when I wasn't using it, and I'd put it back together. And the engines used to sit on on like the windowsills in here or back in their boxes, or I'd take them to Dad's layout and store them there. But now everything's here.
That's cool. I love that's a lot. That's kind of like the hobby store thing too. But you built that whole layout last year. Everything I'm seeing behind you is only like less than a year old.
Yep.
Wow, master craftsmanship right there. That's like, I wish I could do that. Everyone knows this big old thing has taken me ages. So that's so cool though. But yeah, I guess it's about the hobby store too. My local hobby store is still here, but kind of the same thing with me. It started small, but it was kind of like a seed, I guess you could say. Both got started out on the model trains. I was more of a Thomas kid, because I had the whole TV show, but it was just so much fun. Like looking back now to see how much that seed really grew into, I guess, a whole tree, I guess, or whatever you could say. But I kind of thought earlier, because for those who know the history of my channel, I'm still working on the entire history video of my channel, but some streams I mention it. But there was at one point I kind of got out of trains a little, like, just had other things going on, just life and stuff like that. So trains I didn't really think of as number one. I thought like, oh, Star Wars or cars or this and that. So I guess I have to say to you, Chris, is there any point where you almost thought you wouldn't get back into trains or kind of got out of the hobby by any chance?
So, I was into music for a while. This room used to be a music room, and then once my kids showed up, we kind of got out of that. We do that a little bit here and there, but no, it was always something I've done. Even the year I got married, we brought the Christmas tree into the townhouse we were living in, and I remember going to get it, and my wife saw me with the tape measure and assumed I was just going to measure the height, make sure it was going to fit in the room. But I measured the diameter of the tree to make sure I could put a 42-inch loop. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "My train has to fit under this tree. You have no idea." And she was super cool about it, and she's always supported the hobby. And there's never a time where I got out of it. I've always been on it. I just realized somebody, Dan's Railfan Adventures. So Berkshire. I'm supposed to say Berkshire, not Berkshire. One thing.
Say it any ways you want. You can say it any way you want here.
Full disclosure to the train community, because since we're kind of candid here today, I'm not huge into the rail fanning and I guess the accurate trains. One thing you'll probably notice about me is I'm learning a lot. Right. I love the toy trains. I love the models, but I sort of have to research the history. There's people who are really fascinating to listen to, and they know so much about these. And I am not that guy. And I've learned a lot since I've gotten into it. And I get really fascinated if I buy a piece. I'll Google it and look at the history. But you're going to hear me mispronounce things all the time, like Berkshire instead of Berkshire. Right? So that's Chris in a nutshell.
I see people go both ways, so you're fine here, and that's what I like too. Everyone kind of every person I've ever met has always kind of specialized in their own thing with model trains or real life trains. So you go, you don't have to research as much. But I tell you though, it can be fun sometimes, because once you get started, it's like a rabbit hole. It's like, okay, now I know this diesel, but now I need to know these few. So I would say research it, but don't go too far in, because you'll never come back out. That's my advice. But yeah, so I was the same way. I didn't know anything about, all I knew was locomotive, caboose, DNH. That's all I knew. Little Corey, that's all he knew. There's even me on video, when I was 5, and my dad's like, "So what do you want for Christmas?" Like, I want the DNH chopper. I didn't know what I was talking about, but stuff like that. So I didn't know too much either. I was 2018 was really the spark year. And again, happy birthday, Ours Trains. It was this entire week 3 years ago when my life went from, I feel like playing whatever game is on my Wii or PS4 or whatever, to, all right, trains are going to be the rest of my life now. But yeah, so I didn't know much at all first, but it's over time, got a whole lifetime ahead of both of us to learn about this stuff. And that's what makes it so much fun, is learning about these things and then putting it into the trains. There's nothing more fun. Be like, okay, brakeman would be here. He would do these brakes, and then train now ready to go would go around over here and wait for dispatcher, stuff like that. It's just simple little things, but it can make, hey, Steve. Well, Matt's Trains and Steve. Hello. Thank you for swinging in, guys. But yeah, it's things like that I think make the hobby a lot of fun. And sometimes we kind of forget how complex trains can be. So there's so many things.
And on the flip side of that, if I start to research, I end up wanting something else. I'm like, oh, I bought the wrong number, the wrong cab number. Now I got to go find the other one, right? And I've had the same problem happen. So it kind of goes both ways. But you're right, it is complex. And I think that's what I love about the hobby, is that, it's history, it's operation, it's technology, it's art, it's collecting, right? I mean, when I was... when we were home last year, I remember just researching post-war. I got really into post-war, and then I got into pre-war. I don't have as many pre-war pieces. And then this year I got really into MPC and started obsessing over that. So it's been kind of this fun ride of history down the collecting lane, and then also just sort of building and operating layout as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Lionel itself just has so much history to dive into. So, yeah, that's definitely a fun thing. I know someone's going to probably ask this later, but I'll knock it out now. What's your favorite era of Lionel? I know it might be hard to choose because there's some good things on each side, but if you kind of had to choose, what would it be?
So, favorite era is going to be, hands down, post-war. And simply because it was such a defining era for the company. I think I have an appreciation for all of them, but if someone put me on the spot and said that I had to pick one, that's going to be it. And simply because it was such a foundational era for everything else, right? We wouldn't have the NPC tooling without the post-war era. We wouldn't have the popularity without the post-war era, right? There's just so much that it contributed to. I love the modern era too, obviously, but we're kind of in it, so it's going to keep going. I feel like something's got to be. I just like to look back at the post-war era as it's probably my favorite era.
Yeah, me too. That's what I kind of used to say a lot. It's like post-war was kind of like the keystone, I guess you could say, to it all, because again, without a lot of that stuff, like, the whole post-war boom of Lionel in the 50s, not only Lionel, American Flyer and Marks too, but that really hooked so many kids. And you know how much I love hearing the old videos like, oh yeah, my neighbor right down the street, he used to have American Flyer, and we get into like arguments all over the time, or all over like, oh, what trade's better than this? You still see things like that, but not to as much as a popular degree. It's like kind of like, I guess the only thing I could say these days that were as popular, it's like really Pokemon cards or whatever. It's like as big as your Lionel back then. So if you kind of scale those two together, that's how big Lionel and American Flyer, and I was about to say MTH. I'm like, wait, what? They're not around there, but things like that were in the 50s. But I also think another, and I haven't answered my favorite era, but it would probably be either post-war or MPC, just because I don't know what it is about MBC, but that's when a lot of really cool trains and stuff came out. Because Lionel was very in the 50s, kind of just stuck to Lionel lines, Pennsy, New York Central, Santa Fe, and maybe like one or two others. But in MPC, we saw a boom of every single railroad you could think of. But really, I think what kind of gets underrated sometimes is the pre-war era. Like, I know people are like, oh, it doesn't look real at all, but I think that's what's really nice about it. Like that lovely tin plate, glossy shininess. I'm not sure. I think if it wasn't for, I guess maybe you could say the popularity of the pre-war trains and the post-war trains, kind of like, again, a seed. If the seed wasn't planted with the pre-war trains, I guess they wouldn't be here for, or well, they wouldn't be here. So yeah, I see real toy trains. And also, for people who want to ask questions, please ask them. Kind of like last stream, I love getting the questions from y'all. I'm sure Chris would love hearing them too, because again, y'all can come up with some of like the most creative stuff I never would have thought of ever. So if you have questions to ask Chris, please put them below. I'll try to get to them. But Real Toy Trains asks, and I've heard this question all the time, but what does RBP Trains for? I was just about to ask that.
So before I give the answer, I have to give the context as to why I call my channel RBP Trains. And there's two reasons, right? When I first started the channel, I wanted to just call it Chris Trains, but there's several of those, right? So it wasn't going to be unique enough. So I did some research and Googled a couple of different channel names. And then it occurred to me that when I was a kid, one of my hobbies was making videos, like pretend movies. I used to make like werewolf movies or just silly things. And with my brother. And we would call our movies, RBP. That was our little pretend, it basically stood for Raines Brothers Productions, which was, our fake movie company. And then when I went to college, I remember we were going to try to create a business called like RBP Entertainment. And that was just sort of a phase. And I thought this is a good opportunity for me to bring back our little production name. So it's easy to remember and it's short to type into a search engine. And that's where it came from. So RBP Trains.
Now you know it all, Real Toy Trains. Almost RTT, RBP. I don't know, almost. I kind of think of it the same, but yeah, it's a lot of. So I guess you could say you've always dabbled in videos and stuff like that. Would you say? I'm sure you have, of course, but how much would you say you've grown from a little cam or whatever you filmed with to where you are now?
So my setup is pretty basic. One thing I need to do is stop spending so much money on trains and invest in some more technology for
there you go,
my videos, I guess. I just can't keep up. Every time I'm content, like Lionel drops something else and people are talking about it, and I'm like, I should probably do a video on that. Like the S1 that I didn't plan to buy, but I would say I started off with just doing iMovie on my camera, and then I kind of got back into nonlinear editing, and that's what I've been using. I have a pretty basic Sony camera that I like because it has an optical lens, and when you're shooting trains. When you're shooting train videos or pictures, you need tons of light. And one thing my room lacks is a lot of light. So it's been a challenge to do that. But when you get a nice optical zoom and zoom in on some of those shots, it kind of brings the layout to life a little bit more. That's really all I'm using today. I really could use some more studio stuff, but one day we'll do that.
One day. Once Lionel takes a break for a little while, then Chris can get back to the studio stuff. But then once they come out again, he's got to stay on top and get that stuff. But
I tell you, we had proper lighting in here because I will I will dispel this little secret, but my layout is going to be featured in Classic Toy Trains next year. So I have not given that nugget of information out to anybody, but we worked on the photo shoot earlier this year, and I saw what it takes to really get pictures of a layout. I mean, there were light panels in my room that made it look like the sun was shining.
Really?
So that was really cool. That was a great experience, and that taught me a lot about how to place trains on the track, and I'll do a video more about that in the future. But I will tell you one thing. I learned a lot about how to take pictures of trains, and we would send in the shots, and we would get feedback and said, move this train 5 inches and clear track 2. And,
Really?
it was very specific and really cool. And I kind of used some of those tips in the videos as well. And it was very helpful, and kind of doing the channel at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here. You bet everyone subscribe to Classic Toy Trains right now, because now, dang it, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Now I want to see this.
Well, it won't be out till like summer of next year, so it's
I've got a while.
some time.
I gotta grow older. That's gonna be awesome though. So I guess. Oh wait, well yeah, Heath has this question here. Chris, you just robbed a bank and got away with the money. But you can no longer live with your current town. Where would you move?
Where would I move? Oh,
that's an interesting one.
This is a great question. Where would I go? Well, I've traveled around the country. I'm trying to think of where I would settle if I had to move. Probably Washington State. I enjoy that state. I don't know where. Been all over it. I've been Seattle area, but I'm not much of a city guy. So probably like some suburb of Seattle somewhere.
Mm-hmm. See, for me, it's just I want the main line in my backyard. I'll move anywhere. I just want the main line in my backyard so I can just sit on my porch, got me a water or whatever the heck I drink in these streams, and just, I don't know, watch whatever go by. So yeah, I'm kind of flexible though. If I could move anywhere, I have a few specific places in mind. But thank you for the interesting question, Heath. And
Yes.
I thought he was going to ask, what would you want to buy with your trains? I'm sure someone's going to ask that now, but let's see. Dan's Rail Fan Adventure asks, so Chris, what was the first model train you bought, and what's the most recent?
All right, so the first model train that I actually bought would have been my Premier Blue Comet set. That was the one I bought myself. We had trains up until that point, but they were pretty much all trains that my father had bought. So that was the first set that I went out on my own and got myself. So that I've had that one for quite some time now.
And then the thing was most recent as well. So
the most recent train I purchased was probably it was either the Scale S1 and then this 1991 Girl set, which I did.
Oh yeah. You just did a video. Oh, that thing is what one is the? Well, I know both are hard to find, but the post-war one is clearly the harder one to find, right?
Oh yeah. That's that's like a holy grail find for me. Like
really?
One day I will get it, but it's going to take a little bit of effort.
Might have to sell the house for that one.
Yeah, seriously. One day,
really.
The 1991 set, it's nice, but it's got enough differences that I'm still longing for the original.
Really? Well, I'm sure in the video you say, but I guess for those here, so let's say somebody finds the original post-war girl set. What do they do with it? If they want to sell it, that's their own thing. But for me, it'd be glass cabinet, rubber gloves, everything. Do not get a single fingerprint on that poor thing. I don't know what they do with it.
I would definitely be handling it with gloves, but I would probably run it, to be honest.
Really?
Because I run everything. But yeah, I'd have to at least experience it. I would have to invest in some sort of nice cabinet though to keep it in. I'm with you, Corey.
Of course. And
100%.
I'll put the padlock on it too. Ain't no one taking the girl set. Funkmaster Beavis asks, do you have any NS locomotives?
Yeah, I do. You don't see them on the layout a whole lot. I did a kind of a silly video where I ran a really long train, and those Norfolk Southern engines are in that video. They were lashed up at the front of that train. So There's a couple of modern diesel engines that I have in NS. I don't have too much other in the NS schemes. I'm looking for some F units. I'll get those eventually, but right now that's pretty much all I have. Some more modern diesel.
Yeah, would you say when you go, I know you said earlier, yeah, you like to collect all sorts of things, but I guess what would you say is your go-to era? And by era, I mean not like Lionel or MTH era, but like, would it be steam, diesel, electric? Like, what type of stuff do you mostly go after?
It's usually steam. It's usually the one I'm after. It just depends. There's been so many exciting pieces that have been produced and cataloged lately that it's been mostly distracting me into steam, right? So like the pacemaker Mohawk is coming in by the end of the year. I ordered the Strasbourg 90 because that one's going to be exciting, right? So there's just a number of pieces that have really kind of been my focus lately. But I love the diesel engines too. But yeah, if you were asking me, it would be steam.
And is it what do you think is about the steam? Besides, I don't know. Would it be like I don't know, because for me, what glues me into the steam is always the wheels. I just love watching those side rods. Like, even diesels can smoke sometimes more than steam locomotives, but it's just something about those wheels, the rods, and the whistle, of course. Ain't nothing like that on a diesel. So I guess what kind of makes you so attracted to steam locomotives? Because it seems like, again, that everyone I ask seems to have somewhat of a different answer.
Well, I think it's a lot of the same. And it was really when they started putting speed controllers in the steam engines that I really got into them, because I remember watching like some of the diesel engines with when they first made the Odyssey speed control system, and I was fascinated with the slow motion. And the first time I saw a legacy steam engine running at a crawl, and just the amount of action and machinery that's moving, it's the same as what you said. It's all of those pieces that move, and they do such a good job with the finer details and all the rods that are moving around. And yeah, just all the smoke effects now that they're just spewing smoke everywhere, and just the sounds. It's just, they're really exciting. And it's also, you can't see a steam engine every day, right? I can go down to the main line, 10 minutes from my house and watch a CSX train roll by, which is cool, but you can't see a steam engine every day. So it's this history lesson.
Yeah. All right. That's another thing I guess you kind of talked about too, is like how like, just for example, for this guy right here, how much interesting parts they can fit in one like tiny little locomotive. Here's my old Camelback, but all the different things there. It's so impressive, especially, I guess, the smaller in the scale you go, how a lot of those things can still be there, and all those moving parts and details. That's what makes it so much fun. Like, the both of us, we didn't grow up in the steam era. In fact, there's not many people I know anymore who lived in the steam era. So for us, this is like as close as we can get, to being with these things. But again, like looking at these models, it's so impressive. And this is an oldie. This thing's older than some people in chat that I know. So, but it's impressive though, really, a lot of the work that can go into that stuff. So, I guess on the topic of steam, Trainer 97 has the perfect question. What's your favorite steam locomotive in your collection?
My 1964 Lionel 773 with the 1950 tender.
Oh, that's awesome.
My favorite steam engine that I have. It's not the most sophisticated. It's not even the best looking one, probably, if it depended on your opinion, but it is one of my favorite ones, for sure. I don't know if we lost Corey. Looks like it's the RBP show at the moment. So I'll keep fielding questions until Corey comes back.
I don't know what happened.
It just it's okay. If you want me to take over the stream, Corey, I'm happy to do that. I was about to answer a question about Erie, and that's a great one. I do not have any Erie railroad locomotives, and would love to have some in my collection. I'm actually going to add the Erie Hobo boxcar. That'll be the first piece I have, though, in Erie.
All right, I'm sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what happened. My phone just went blank. It didn't die or anything because, it's still alive. But I don't know what happened. If that happens again, Chris, you could take over for a little bit. But I don't know what happened there. That was, okay. Sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. It's always a growing experience, it seems.
It's the internet, man. That's all you can do.
It's the internet. We can leave it at that. There you go. Explained. Phantom AFOL says, here's a question for the both of you. What is your model train holy grail? So for you, that'd be your 773. And what would you get if you had infinite amount of money? All right, I'm interested to hear what you'd have to say.
So my Holy Grail engine. Well, that would be a 700E pre-war. That's the Holy Grail engine. And if I had infinite amounts of money, probably would, just to own it, would be a Blue Comet 400E pre-war.
Oh yeah, original.
That would be if the sky was the limit. I don't even think I would build a standard gauge layout. I would just own the thing and have it on a shelf. Like that would be just have a piece of that history.
I don't even think
Corey?
I don't even think you need all the money in the world. You could probably by like at the end of the decade you'll have your own Blue Comet, boom, set. But for me, well, everyone knows my Holy Grail is my MPC Blue Comet. I could go on for that thing forever. You know, that was the one my grandfather gave to me. Very special train, but infinite amount of money. I might be here all night. But to keep it short, it would be a 2 layouts, big O gauge one, probably about the size of, for those who know of Greeley, Colorado, and the museum they have there, the size of that thing with an O gauge layout, I want to run like 100 different MPC trains at once. And at least 20 modern ones. So 120, that's not my lucky number or anything, but I just want to feel like there's this one old-timey cartoon from, I don't know if it's by Disney or what, but it's just like a little kid or whatever. Some people are going to know what I'm talking about. But I don't know, just walking around these big old funny streamlined steam engines. At one point in the cartoon, I think they were all going everywhere, like left and right, or kind of like wow, I'm making quite the old time thing. What was it called? Baby Beethoven. I'm not sure, something like that. But there's little things I used to watch as a kid, and they used to run actually little Lionel trains, I think, and they had like 50 going at once or something, or the way they edited it. So I'm like, oh, I want to. That's the thing though about fast Lionel trains. It's so much fun to see tons go by each other all at once.
Yeah.
It's like it's so satisfying. I mean, running one train is very satisfying enough, but imagine just like something the size of the old showroom layout, just double the tracks with constant trains going around. That'd be it. And then
that would be amazing. Yeah, to buy a warehouse and like build my own club size layout, that's just for me.
Awesome. Yeah, boom. The upstate, the Rs Trains club consisting of me and myself and I. That's about it. But that'd be a lot of fun though. I think so. I would go with that. The DNH O scale club there. I can specialize in that because I don't know many people who have, well, outside of us, I don't know many people who have much O-scale DNH stuff. So maybe you have to have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm making the rules. If you have a DNH locomotive O-scale, you can enter. That's boom. That's the only way you're let into my.
I think there's more of them out there than we think. I only got mine because of you, Corey, and you know this. Like I took a picture of it on the counter before I paid for it and posted it to make sure you saw it. And even before the card was approved.
I immediately saw it. I'm scrolling through my feed and I just see the blue. I see the blue and the gray. I'm like, oh, it's DNH. And then I see RBP. I'm like, RBP trains. I'm like, what? So, but yeah, that is a gem right there. We'll talk about that a little later, but I'll tell y'all in a sec why that is such not only a cool piece, but a rare piece as well. Anyways, let me find a few more questions. Hey, Kisco Falls Railroad, Mike, how you doing?
What's going on, Mike?
Isaiah Hawkins says, question for RBP trains. If there's one item that you've always wanted to get but never got around to it, what would it be? So would that be the girls' train, or maybe another one you have in mind?
So, we talked about the pieces, which is a great question. I'll tell you what I need to get around to doing that I have not done, is getting some backdrops around this room. So that is something I need to get done, because I'm tired of seeing my blinds in my videos. So that would be a great thing to do. Maybe I'll actually get around to doing that. But it's been the one thing that I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I just keep forgetting to order, and it's going to be a lot to install. But
really, do they make pre-made, I guess, O-scale ones that are going to fit well?
So they do, right? So you kind of like the little test ones that I've got on my layout. Yeah. I put those up to see what it would look like. You can get them in like 9-foot sections by like 3 feet tall, which would work. And you can make them like a continuous scene. And that's what I need to do. But it's going to take quite a few of them to get wrapped around the building of the room here. But one day, we'll get it done.
One day. Just like anything in this hobby. One day. Catnuts says, Chris, what is your favorite railroad and why?
This one, the Katie,
The
MKT. Now, why? It's a strange question because I don't live in Texas or any of those areas, right? I'm an East Coast guy. This all started, I think, when I started getting really into post-war. I loved the Texas Special F3. There was something about it that really captivates me. I don't know what it is, can't explain it. And I noticed, it doesn't even say the Katie on it, but I got a set of those cattle cars that had this logo, and I just loved the logo. So I started researching the railroad and its lifespan, a little bit about it, and I just, for some reason, gravitate towards that road. Couldn't tell you really much more than that. This logo, I was lucky enough that my brother was able to kind of get it vectorized, and my wife has a cricket maker, and she made me the shirt. So believe it or not, this is a homemade shirt.
Really? That looks good.
I do wash it between each video, promise, but I do wear it all the time.
Don't worry, folks. He washes the shirt. He doesn't have one shirt. Don't worry, folks. But yeah, that's one thing I think people always know first off, when I think of RBP trains, I not only think of the layout, but I always think of the Katie. So it's an iconic shirt for sure. It'll be interesting though, like next time if you ever come back on and the shirt's like hopefully it doesn't get put in the wrong set of clothes or something. It becomes like pink or white or something. But
there is a red version of the shirt that I used in my Christmas video. So I do have a red version that is very rare that I will wear occasionally. But
you have to keep your eyes out for that one. Let's see. You're looking for a few more. We got a few more questions, and then of course, Kim. Hello, good to see you here, buddy. CJ says, Chris, could you show? We'll probably get to that a little later. CJ wants to see your NS locomotives. We'll get to that in a little bit when we do the official layout tour. We have a question for Chris from Harrison. He says, not sure if you're going to talk about his channel growth, but what did you do and how did you take data from your channel to improve and help it expand? I did not think I'd be saying the word data tonight.
It's funny because I know a lot of people who are watching have YouTube channels, and you really get kind of sucked into looking at Google's data, and what they provide to you. But a lot of what happened to my channel, I think, was by accident. So I did a video a couple months ago, back in June, I think it was, where I just ran some of the bigger steam engines I have. And it just happened to get delivered by Google, I guess recommended or something like that. That's really, I think, where a lot of subscribers came from was that particular video. So I tried to learn from it, but I can't run a huge engine every single week, right? I only have a couple of them, right? So I did some other videos, and viewership has been kind of constant, and then this S1 I tried to recreate the big engine video, and it kind of worked again. So that's the only trend I've noticed, is that big engines are exciting to watch. So if you can do videos with big engines, I'm tapped out. That's all I got.
Like one plus one is 2. Big engine equals fun, I guess, whatever you want to say that as. So
yes.
There. Nick, hello, buddy. Thank you for swinging in PGH trade. Oh, yeah. If you ever need flats, Chris, boom, Nick, you got to get them through Nick with those backdrop flats.
Yes, I would really I want a custom flat. So, Nick, since you're watching, how are we doing on that?
Let's see. Nick. Oh, Nick says you should make the shirt to match the girls' train boxcar. I guess a pink Katie shirt. That'd be an interesting one.
A yellow shirt with like the canary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Robin's egg blue or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever color's the most dominant. Probably pink, because pink, the girls' train set. Heath asks, Chris, you mentioned kids. Have your kids ever shown any interest in trains?
They are down here all the time. So they have been a huge influence in the layout of some of these areas. I actually named parts of the layout after my daughters, and I got their feedback as to where to place buildings. I have some little scenes on here that are designed for them. Like you may see an area, and I'll show you in a little bit when I'm roaming around, but I have an area with some cows, and they come down here and they play with the cows, and they have their own little trains they run on the layout, and they actually know how to use the whole thing. They know how to power up and turn everything on, and it's been a lot of fun doing this with them.
Have they ever asked for like their own layout or something? Like, can we get our own layout? Or
no, they just want mine. They just want to run on this.
They want the big one.
I have set up I've set up things for them before, and they always come back to this one. So it's been interesting. We do have some problems sometimes. We'll have friends over, and people like to dig the ballast up for some reason. That's been a problem, but we're on top of it.
Getting used to it. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Wait, what was that? Come on, where'd the comet go? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, hello, Randall. Thank you for. Yeah, you're fine, Randall. Where did the comet go? Someone had a really good question. I can't find it. Shoot, I can't remember who it was. Hopefully they'll post it again. Dang it, I can't find it. All right. Hopefully we'll see it again. And then again, for anyone who's new, please ask questions. I'm sure Chris would love to hear anything you got. Of course, we're about to end the Q&A though, because I'm sure we all really want to see those trades running. He's got so many different cool things lined up. So we'll probably do about another few minutes or so with questions, but then I'm sure we're all itching to see some of those. I don't even know how to say it. Those gems behind you.
Oh yeah, I definitely have the RS-11 for you, Corey. It's ready to go.
I have my little HO RS-11's in the wrong room, and I don't have the only O gauge thing I have is the U-boats, which are broken, and then the RS-3, which front truck is now about to fall off, and that's the problem. It's all that MPC modern stuff, so I can't find things on how to fix it. So for now, they kind of work, but not all the way. Isaiah Hawkins says, another question for RBP trains. Is there another gauge that you would like to do apart from O gauge, and what would it be?
So if I was going to do another one, I would go back to my roots, which was N gauge.
Oh, some might say that's the lighter side or the darker side of the hobby. I'll let chat decide for me. I'm in HO, so I got the best of both worlds. But really, you did N scale at one point.
Well, when I was little, my dad had an HO layout, about a 4x6. I don't even think it was quite 4x8. And it was super interesting. It was really detailed and kind of was the foundation for how we did our O gauge scenery. And then, as a courtesy or maybe to keep me off of his layout, he built me a small N gauge layout. And this was the first engine I had on that one.
Oh, that's so cool.
It lasted for a while. I had it for years and I loved it. But eventually he took down the HO layout, which he actually still has. It's in a shed.
Really?
Propped up against the wall. And then he built out the bigger one that he has down there now.
What? Who makes that little, or what manufacturer? I guess is that little N scale? Is it like Cato or something?
Lifelike. I don't even know.
Lifelike. That I haven't heard that one in a long time. I
think this was bought at like a Rite Aid years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Forgive me. I don't know much about the manufacturers outside of O because I can't keep all my facts straight. But yeah, that's what that one is.
See, that's so I guess, how big was your little N scale loop? It couldn't have been too big then.
No, that was probably, if I had to guess, maybe like a 3 foot by 4 foot piece of wood.
Really? So kind of like a coffee table, yeah.
Yeah. I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to get it out, but yeah.
Yeah, if you ever do a history or video or something like that on the channel, that's probably going to be a fun little piece to be like, can you do? Weird to think I had this at one point, but man, now that I think about it, imagine if your entire layout behind you was all N scale. You could have like the entire state of Maryland behind you or something.
Yeah, it would. I could probably do the whole thing, maybe.
Just about, folks, or at least get all the important spots in. So that's weird to think, though. I would like to do N scale, and I know, especially D Klinger, if he's in chat, you're now going to be like, do it, because you love N scale. But I don't know. I'm kind of stuck with O gauge and HO for now. We'll have to see.
Oh no, I'm way too far down the O gauge rabbit hole to go anywhere else. Yeah,
there's no switches. There's no switches that get him off the O scale main line. Mike asks, Chris, what got you back into trains and made you decide to go out and build the layout?
So I never got out of trains, but what got me motivated to build was last year when I was really getting heavy into looking at building up the collection, and I was spending a lot of time creating the track plan on the floor and adding to it, adding switches. It got to the point where I sat down with my wife one evening and I said, rather than me building this when I'm retired, can I just build it now? And she's like, okay, but that's going to be it. Once you turn the room into the train layout, that's going to be it. And that's I called up my friend Lawrence, who did the bench work for me the next day, and we just started kind of working on it.
Yeah, and then it grew from, and that's the thing. Once again, Chris goes around and shows his layout. Like, the bench work is incredible. You don't see many layouts that kind of round like yours do it. It's like so well polished and stuff. Versus me, I'm like loosely cutting wood. Like, oh right, this might look good. Might. All right, that didn't work. Throw it away. Okay, how about this? So it's really cool though. You got like your friend to help you, and again, it looks. Is he a woodworker or craftsman by trade?
So he is to woodworking what we are to trains, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he spends all of his free time building up his shop and his skills, and he does a lot of furniture for people, and this was a good challenge for him. I think he enjoyed, like, he was the one who suggested like the rounded edges, because he said, Chris, how do you want it to look? And I said, well, it'd be cool if we could make the edges round, but don't worry about it. Said, I'll make the edges round. Sure.
It's like, I got just that. Now that's funny. Oh wait, Trainer 97 says, Chris, I've noticed a Big Boy 4014 in your collection and a top 10 list. Where would you personally put it? I personally put it number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's an epic engine. It would definitely be up there. I'd have to think about that. Somebody who commented on one of my videos said, Chris, you should do a top 10 video. And I'm thinking that if I can hit, the 10,000 subscriber milestone, then maybe I'll do a top 10. And trust me, 4014 will be near the top of the list. The only reason it might not be number 1 is because if I'm looking at it from a toy train perspective, there are 1 or 2 models that I like for their vintage collectivity that I might put in front of it. But from a real train perspective, yeah, I would love to see that in real life. I'd probably pass out if I was watching that come by, though.
Oh yeah, me too. Have you ever seen the Big Boy in Steamtown? That one, 4012?
No, the biggest steam engine I've ever seen, and of course it was idle, is the Chesapeake and Ohio Allegheny. That's in the B&O Railroad Museum. It's the biggest one I've seen in person, and I mean, even that one wowed me when I first saw it. And of course, we visited Strasbourg and saw 611 running, and that was just epic. So I can only imagine seeing 4 in person, right?
Oh, I'd love to just see an articulated locomotive with the double sets, because you always see regular locomotive with the drivers, but seeing all 4 of those things going at once, oh, that must be so much fun. And that's the thing. I wish I was born like 60, 70 years ago, because right up here in Schenectady, but Schenectady built all the big boys and challengers. So it would have been so much fun to just, again, sit at my house by the main line, smell that Alco smoke, and watch them roll out. Oh, that would have been awesome.
Imagine?
Oh.
Yeah, that would be something else.
What they did was, I think, I'm not sure if they were able to do that, but I think it's probably a rumor, but that the big boys were so big and heavy that they had so much trouble rolling them out of the shops because the track wasn't built for something that big. And they have a little thing like a slipway, I guess, where they poured so much soap and oil on the rails so they could get the locomotive to move without it actually moving. I don't know if the big boy actually did that, though. Probably not, because that thing would get too much traction. It's too big and long. It just bolt on out of there. I don't even know how they got it out of there. So if any Alco people around know, I guess, more stories about that, or if there's any truth to that, please let us know. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay, Phantom AFOL has a really interesting one. He says, here's a question for the both of you. What's your favorite British locomotive? Mine is the 9F, tied for the first with the Flying Scotsman.
I am not an expert on British locomotives. I just dipped my toes into the water thanks to my friend John, who came over and ran his on my layout. But I was in London right before, I guess this was January of 2020, right before it kind of shut down. I was in London and I was in the town of Wimber, and there is a steam engine on display there. And I thought it was fascinating. It was so different from anything you'd see here. And I have a picture of it somewhere, but I'm on the spot, so I can't remember what it was called. But if you're looking in the town of Wimber, that is where the steam engine was located. And that would probably be my favorite one because it's the only one I've seen in person so far. So I like that one.
To grow from there, really? Okay. I don't know what mine would be. I know everyone here knows Duck from Thomas. whatever Duck is, I think he's a saddle tank or something. I wouldn't know. No, he's not a saddle tank. He's a side tank. I don't know. I'm gonna now get all the comments. Be like, no, he's not. He's this. But whatever Duck is, so whatever that is, I don't know why it's something so funny about his shape, but that's the thing. It's fun to learn, but then if you say something wrong, it feels like you got a whole tidal wave coming at you or something of facts. But hey, I'm open to learn. So that's an interesting one. I know everyone loves the Mallard and the Flying Scotsman, of course, but I kind of like those little things. There's something cool about them. I kind of like the smaller engines, but I know someone's going to bring it up, especially a D&H guy, but probably a lot about the similarities between the D&H and British trains, like, the weird streamlining on them makes them look very British. So that's, I guess, I don't know, another link between me and British trains and why I like them. I don't know. It's hard to put that together. Let's see. Legend Driver C says, Chris, do you have any subway trains?
Not yet. I don't have anything subway related. I have some friends that I've met who have some pretty impressive subway collections. And I like the dialogue in them, and it would almost be neat to kind of do a little bit more research and pick some. My wife lived in New York City for college for a year, so I spent a lot of time up there. It would be really neat to get something similar to what we rode on in New York. So one day. Good question.
Yeah, that's now that you bring that up. I remember when I went to all right, now I'm going to get tons of flack for going to a Yankee game. Whatever. I like my Yankees. But when we went to the game, I got so wrapped up in those subways. I don't know what it was about them. Or, well, they were above ground, whatever those are. But I don't know why. It was so much fun. And they kind of look a lot like tiny Bud cars. I guess you could say that. Or Lionel 027 coaches are probably about a O scale subway car, but I don't know what it was. There was something really cool about those tiny things, and I don't have any, but I also plan on maybe getting some soon sometime. So interesting question. Trainstorm says, if you're just tuning in, welcome to another Sunday Runday with special guest RBP Train. Please make sure to follow the chat rules. No chatting, no spam, bad topics, etc. Y'all done great. Well, thank you, Carter. Every single stream, I think, since day one, Carter, you've been out here always doing that. So thank you so much, my friend. I think we're going to probably wrap it up for about the questions. I don't think I see any more. So I think it's finally about time. And also, I know a few more people have come in chat. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We got Chris. I pointed the right way this time. Let's go. We have Chris right there, even though it's all inverted. So
which way did I point to you? That way.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's like you feel like you want to point this way, but then it's the wrong way. I could go on for a while, but wait, okay. One more question, Heath. All right, I got you. Model trains or toy trains? Which do you prefer?
Well, in O gauge, aren't all trains toy trains?
After all, we got 3 rails.
We do have that. We have that pesky third rail that I hear about.
It ain't gonna get more real than that, ladies and gentlemen.
I like both, right? I would say that if I love the highest end detailed models, and I love the pre-war enamel coated toys, right? They're all cool to me. There's a place for each one in my collection.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, chat went one way. Okay, it's back. Oh yeah, Frankie. Yes, this did start at 7 p.m. Look how far we're going already. Geez, an hour in this. We gotta get to the trains now. So, that's it for the questions. Thank you all so much. I'm sure one or two will pop up and we'll answer those. But I think it's about time for the grand layout tour. So, the cam isn't working though. Yeah, I saw the message that. Oh, dang, poor little thing. Chris had earlier set up a little layout cam. Like I don't even know exactly where you put it. I know you just put it like somewhere up high. So
yeah, we can roll around that because I can basically move this around.
Oh, there you go.
My computer out of the way, and then I can switch. I'm gonna swap my camera, Corey, to the other side.
Yeah, all right. So y'all gotta see this layout. I tell you, if you haven't. Oh wait. I got the banner all made. Make sure to subscribe to Chris's channel, RBP Trains. Chris has for being built in under like 1 year, that's such an incredible layout. The amount of trackage and trades and all that stuff. I'm not even going to get into the wiring because I already know it must have taken a long time for all that to come together. So,
all right. I'm going to actually pull everybody down here towards the control system. Or I'll put it right here for now. So what did we do, Corey? We talk about what we're running tonight? Is that how you want to start?
If you want to talk about what we're running, then just do a layout tour, something like that. Go ahead.
All right, we'll start with the layout tour then, because that'll be easier, and then we'll talk about what we're
Yeah.
running. So my layout is about 27 feet long by about 12 feet wide. I'm going to kind of roll back here to what I call the north end, and then we'll do a sort of an overview. If I drop out or anything, Corey, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll do.
So this is the layout in its entirety. Sorry about the ring light in the middle, but this here area here is the north end, and we call this the town of Addison. And just to kind of keep things quick, so my layout, it looks kind of complicated, but it's really simple. It's just a couple of loops, right? So on this north end, I have a basic loop that right now has no command control capability. I kind of reserve this loop for Lion Chief sets that are Bluetooth capable, or they come with the easy remotes for my kids. And I use it for like my post-war and pre-war stuff. So it has pretty tight curves, and it is really just for my vintage stuff. And then down here, you can see two of the main lines. So we have this outer main line that actually takes its route around the entire perimeter of the layout. So it runs down through the yard all the way to the south end, loops around, and then kind of returns back through the yard and then comes back out here on this curve. And then we have the center main line, which is just a single line that kind of loops back into itself. And there's some little spurs and some little areas around here that I've built out, like this little yard area right here by this industrial space. You'll see I got this Black Bonnet Lionel parked in here, and an MTH fantasy scheme. And then there's the engine yard, and there's the 4014 sitting there. Next to its Lionel Vision Line counterpart, the New York Central Niagara. And then behind them in the shed is an MTH Shea locomotive that I need to do a video on one of these days. It's probably one of the cooler engines I have. It has one of the neatest whistles. So if we kind of move beyond this area, here's this area with the cows I was telling you about. So this is like where kids play. All right, so turning around this direction, we have the yard that moves down the entire side of the layout here. And the yard has switches that allow us to come in on the south end, and then we can roll all the way up to the north end where there's switches that allow us to get back out to the main lines. So it's great because I can store trains here and have things staged and ready to go. And I've been really into Legos, so I just like to put my Lego buildings over here.
They're almost scale too. Hey, I mean, those look pretty like right to size of like Rail King or whatever.
Yeah, they're kind of nifty that way. So yeah, we come around to the bottom of the yard. I have a crossover over here that you can't really see too well because there's one train sitting in the middle of it. This is great because I can turn trains around without having to pick them up on the layout. So I can, these are all 072 switches and such, so that I can get all the big engines turned around too.
Are those the tightest switches on the layout, or do you have like a 036 or something like that? Or?
I have some 036, which you'll see as I swing around here. So this is another elevated loop on this end. This one's a little bit longer. I have an MPC Daylight. Wow. Thank you to the Instagram votes, because that's the one that won. And then it loops around. This is a scene you see in my videos all the time. It's one of my favorite shots. Under these bridges.
Yeah, there you go. Now we all know where exactly it is. That's a little fun thing that I love about layout tours is as you kind of go around, you kind of be like, oh, so this is down there and that's down there.
These are some interesting shots here, but they're hard to get because of the amount of storage that's in the room. So if you kind of go up this way, there's like a little town here. We call this the town of Bailey. And here's one of those 036 switches, Corey, that you asked about.
Yeah.
And it's just a manual switch. All of my switches are manual on the layout. Even my command control switches, they are all disconnected because I just like to throw them by hand. Then I know they are 100% thrown every time.
Really? Oh, I guess I like it. What happens in case if there's like, let's say, an accident or something, and you got to get to a switch real quick? Do you just have to run over and flip it, or?
Yeah, well, what I realized was I was having more accidents with the command switches than doing them by hand, because they would show red or green, but they weren't actually throwing. So that's probably just my lack of technical aptitude or something. But because I can reach everything, I just sort of do it that way.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about your layout too, is it's a layout that I call that runs around you instead of you go around it. So it doesn't take as long to reach one side versus me. I gotta like do a half a marathon or something to get around to the other side, flip it within a few seconds, be back and get to my transformer.
Right. Yeah, and so this rounds out the layout here. This is the last area, and this is the town of Bailey, as we call it. So you have Addison on the north end and Bailey over here on the, as you come around the south end. Then just some extra tracks here. One day I might turn this loop into something more interesting. I may put like a base here and build up a town, but for now that's how that's set up.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of my favorite parts of the layout. Just that whole section right there. I just love how it comes out at you, and the you don't see that too much because many people I know will just put like probably want to put a switch or something so that loop connects itself. But I love doing that because if you have like two command trains or something on that upper loop, and that's command, right? That upper loop.
It is.
All
I
right.
do a lot of semi-scale stuff up here.
Yeah.
So like I have some like Rail King and some Lion Chief engines that do really well on this upper loop.
Yeah, but that's something I'd love to do. Run them both kind of at the same speed so they can like pass each other, stuff like that. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, my favorite scene on the layout is right over here. And that is, like I'm not going to disconnect these cars, but this has always been one of my favorite ones. I played around with the static grass stuff, and it just kind of turned out more interesting than some of the other areas. I'm no scenery master by any means, so it. You know.
Some of those scenes on my layout beat what I got going on here. I think it looks great. And then oh yeah,
Power Central, right? So this is where we get everything running. So we'll pop these on.
RJ says, "Oh, this Chris RBP guy."
Oh,
RJ. Thanks for swinging it, RJ.
I'll see you at York, RJ. It'll be great. So that is the layout. Yeah, and then, we kind of have some train storage around the room. We'll just look at that real quick, and then I'll get some stuff running. Walk up this way. So I was talking earlier about some of my favorite vintage trains. So you have, this is a 763E. This is from 1938.
Wow.
Hudson.
Ain't that incredible?
And then below it, this is the 1964 773. So you can tell because it's missing the valve guide right here, and then the 773 is it's a whiter color versus the silver, but it does have the 1950 tender, which is great.
How heavy are those things? Out of curiosity, I've never been in like the presence of an old one or whatever.
It's it has a great weight to it. It's a great pull.
Really.
And then we have this is the Vision Line 700E Hudson sitting down here. This I got the same time I got that DNH, Corey. So this is around the same.
Yep.
Then,
yeah.
And then this is a 746 post-war here as well.
Oh, that's that's just you might want to name that like, I don't know, the shelf of cool. I don't know, some hip name, like that's where all the cool stuff lays.
Oh, issues with Fast Track. So no, I've had a couple of areas where I had voltage drops, but it's usually easily remedied either with a quick little dab of solder on the center rail or just adding a power feeder. So a great example of that would be over in this one area of my layout. Try to be gentle with the camera here. Somewhere over here, I have a dab of solder, which you may or may not be able to see, but it was a track joint where I had this type of issue, and I just put a dab of solder like right in there. Could also add a feeder on the other side, but I was too lazy to drill into the table and pull the track up. So if you're using Fast Track, that's what I would just take a look at that. Someone asked about Norfolk Southern, so there's a Norfolk Southern engine right there. And then obviously you got to have the Polar Express because it's just so magical.
Yeah, is that the MTH one right there, the Polar Express?
So MTH has not made a Polar Express.
Oh yeah. That's the Lionel. Yeah,
it's the Lionel Legacy one from there. It's the most recent one they made, so it doesn't have like the Pierre Marquette logo here or anything. And then we just have a couple of other engines stashed over here on where I'm supposed to do my day job, but just diesel central right now.
There you go. It's the diesel shops. Oh wow! Oh man, you got a lot of cool NS stuff right there.
So
That's
some more of the Norfolk Southern engines that were asked about. And then just some more stuff, some more vintage stuff over here. Just the Blue Comet that we've seen before. But
Blue Comet, love it.
Yeah, these Vision GS engines, I've been just loving those. They've been a lot of fun to run. And then Corey, I set these out just for you, all the MPC steamers.
Yeah, woo! Oh, love it. They're classics. Although some say they're like, what do you call it, cookie cutters. I think they're all cool in their own way. So let's see. That's the let's see if I know my trends. So we got 611. We got the Southern Crescent. We got come on. It's not. Is it something with Texas?
No, it's Chicago and
Chicago and Alton.
Good.
Yeah, woo! All right, we got the Blue Comet, baby. I know that one. And then this one. I don't. You know, is this a Frisco locomotive? No, I see ATSF. You revealed too much.
Oh yeah, I went too far. Yeah,
that's cool though. That's all super cool. Isn't there? Are you ever gonna? Or are you looking for? Or maybe you have it, and I just didn't look yet. But do you have the? What do you call it? The chassis steam special? Is that in your sights?
That is on my list. So one of these days.
That's a really cool one. I love that one. RJ says, Chris, want to give me that Vision Line 700E?
As soon as RJ starts being nice to me, I'll consider it.
There you go, RJ. It's simple like that.
So we going to start them up? Is that the next step here, Corey?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think if we're all ready, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. So whenever y'all all at home or wherever y'all be, if y'all ready to start this layout, I need to, I don't know, a ready in chat. Just type ready or anything. Ed Katie asks a good question. He says, did they ever make a passenger girls set, I guess, for the girls train?
There has only ever been the one freight set that was designed and marketed as a girls set.
Okay. Also, before you get going real quick, do you want to show us what's running at least down there for my DNH friends?
Yep. So let's talk about that. So we have the DNH RS11 specifically on the track tonight just for Corey. So this is wouldn't have it any other way. I did have a couple of. I kind of flipped a coin, so I put Challenger on here tonight. Plus, it was more conveniently located in the yard. Yep. We have the S1 Lionel. This is the new one they just came out with on the track. I do have a MPC Daylight way back there in the back. I'll kind of move and get some camera angles as we go. And then on my post-war loop, I just have the girls train because I have not taken it off the track since the other day.
Hey, you don't have to move it. And it's an interesting one. I love that thing. It's so cool. Yeah, everyone's now starting to talk about that DNH RS11. RS11 DNH gets a like in my book. Me too. That's an interesting Challenger, though. I know someone's going to ask, is that paint scheme prototypical?
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, that is it's their 49er fantasy scheme, but it was too cool to pass up. It's probably one of the most loved and most hated engines in my collection. Like, really? Whenever someone comes over, it's the one they ask about. And they're like, "Hey, can you run that engine?" You know, especially when I have like kids over at the house, they always want to see this one run. But in terms of prototypical accuracy, it is certainly a myth.
Hey, but if we win the Powerball, 3985 Union Pacific, it ain't moving right now, and I'm sure someone would like to see it in some fun colors. So hey, just throwing the idea out there. If anybody wins the Powerball and you have a few extra $100,000 million to spare, it'd be kind of funny to bring not only, every other steam locomotive back to life, but try this one too. But yeah, that S2 also is so great. That thing's brand new, right? Yeah.
It is. Yep.
Oh, what a piece. And didn't Lionel come without? Yeah, earlier this year, right?
Yeah, it was cataloged last year, and it just delivered maybe a month ago or so.
Okay, so yeah, straight out of the factory then.
Hang on. I want to make sure you can hear.
Yeah.
Head for the line. See you tomorrow. Out.
We have to start the DNH first. So.
All right, yes. I need to hear that Alco Prime mover.
All right, are we ready?
Hey, I think I saw a bunch of readies earlier, so I think we're all ready. Music to my ears. Oh, I love that thing. It's got all the light. It's literally got all the bells and whistles. And there she
Sorry, my
goes.
speed was up.
And that's all scale cars too. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, so folks, for me, as you know, I love the DNH. I wouldn't say I'm the king of the DNH or anything, but I don't know how it happened to be, but RS11s just became some of my favorite DNH diesels. I don't know what it is about them. It's just that lovely big high hood, that big DNH shield, all the lights, and just the big horn and all that sound. Oh yeah, look at this. Woo! Oh yeah. Sorry, people, I'm foaming over model trades. It's a Sunday Runday. Are you new? This is what normally goes on. Oh, this is great. Oh, we got GFW. Hey guys, Georgia Wally. Hello. How you doing tonight? There it goes. Oh, I love it. That's a meet that would. I'm not sure if you'd see it anywhere else. I don't think you're going to see a UP Challenger in the 49ers game and a DNHRS 11 pass each other every day. Only at RBP trades here, folks. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, so if you're enjoying this, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. It's an honor to have Chris on as a guest. So it's been a blast, and now it's so much fun watching these trains run. And that's what I love about this stuff is that it's like legacy, TMCC, all that. And I love watching the big O gauge trains creep. Because y'all know with me, I have conventional, so it kind of flies. So it's a lot of fun to watch this stuff go slow. And says, what? No DNH caboose. Hey, everyone's there. Awesome GFW trades. You got George, Wally, OG, and Grandma Anita. Oh, thank you all for tuning in then. Yeah, so earlier this stream, Chris and I were talking a lot, and we took a lot of questions from the chat, of course, and everyone asked some great questions. It was awesome to let the chat, I guess you could say, take control of the stream. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And oh, look at this again. This is probably one of my favorite spots on his layout. It's just so much fun to watch all the trains go everywhere, especially the long ones. Let's see. NEC Life says DNH is an odd railroad to me because the Erie replaced the DNH my era, huh? On my area, huh? Erie, what are you doing? Let the DNH have its own track. Jeez. Smash and destroy that like button. It shows that you like the stream. Exactly. But yeah, anyways, so if you somehow don't know of Chris, make sure to go subscribe to his channel, RBP Trains. I'm sure Harrison or Carter will have that link again around in chat if anybody's new and haven't already subscribed. Chris is a great guy. If you like my videos, you're surely gonna love his. And he posts a lot more frequently than I do, so you get a lot of good videos coming from him. Let's see. Lehigh says that's a great track plan to maximize run and curves. Yeah, I agree. Rail fan number one. I like this look. Dang, look at the articulation on that Challenger. Ain't that crazy? And that whistle, too. Wow. Ain't that something? Yep, there you go. Thank you, Carter. Says, go check out Chris's channel. You won't be disappointed. And then there's the link right there. The link isn't active, though, so you'll have to open a new tab if you on a computer or whatever, and then paste that in. Or just go to RBP Trade. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. And that's what I like, too. I'm not sure if Chris can hear me, but it sounds like some of the cars he has have the sound. I'm not sure what ones they could be, but I've always wanted one of those cars that makes sounds, you know? So I don't have to do another installation of real trains or model trains with real life train sounds or whatever. But yeah, this is so much fun. I love it. And then you can see in the size comparison. If you thought this was small, it's not small. Chris is almost like an ant on the horizon of his layout. It's so big. I love it. See, that's what my basement was going to be like, but I have too many windows and weird doors. I can't do stuff like that. And there you go again. Like he said earlier, he was talking about the power. It takes a lot of power to run a big layout like this, but there's so many cool things you can do with it. Look at this. Oh, there's the S2. Why am I foaming? That's so cool. Oh, I love that. That and the S2, it's big, but that streamlined set looks so good on it. They all light up in there. I think they're even more scale than my N&W cars, and I thought those things were huge. RTT says, I think you and Chris have the same color walls. I think it looks actually, yeah, in the camera, it looks like maybe we're in the same room. That'd be funny. Yeah, S2 and Daylight meet. So nice. For anybody who knows who built the steam engine S2, I don't know who built that one. Is it like Baldwin or Alco or Lima? I don't know who built that. Oh yeah, then the Daylight has the mighty sounds of steam. Or S1, yeah. I don't know who built the S1. Oh, no way, did Altoona Shops actually build those things? That's crazy. I just saw the S1 from Chris and I thought about it but couldn't leave. No, yeah, I'm surprised too. That thing, it can fit around some tight bends then. Surely wouldn't fit on my layout, that's for sure. Yeah, so this is incredible. Matt says, man, I love how that Daylight just wraps around the one corner behind the town. I know, right? And then the double track bridge, it's so cool. Ed says, where is RBP located? He'll probably give you a more direct thing, but the western-ish Maryland area, I believe. Designed by Baldwin and built in Altoona Shops. All right, thank you. Yeah, Steve's right. Steve, Steve, I think had a video on it, but Steve had 2 of those big S1s on his layout. That's crazy. I don't know how they got around, how they were able to pass each other like that. But yeah, that was awesome when Steve did that. Steve had the whole meetup too there. See, I hope to one day achieve this where I can just surround myself with Lionel trains. That's heaven for me. Ain't that awesome? Yeah, one of those cars do have sounds. I can hear like the click clack and all that. It's awesome. And the brake, the squealing sounds and all that. That's so cool. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I wonder if hopefully we can get Chris to talk about that later. I love that B&O target signal there. That thing's awesome. And the station way back there, yep. Feels like I'm pointing out national landmarks right now or something like, oh, that there's the famous RBP station, kids. And that's the thing I love about big layouts like these. You can come up with infinite angles. Oh, look at that thing. Look at that smoke. I know it comes in probably much better in person, but still. Hey, listen to... I feel like I need to sing the Wabash Cannonball right now. Like, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar. Wow. That's so cool. I wish I had room to fit one of those, but I don't think I'm getting an S1 anytime soon. Oh. Thank you, Trade Nerd 97. Thank you. I don't know what it is though. I think S1s and S2s or whatever gotta be. Oh, yes, the RS11. Those S1s are awesome, but that RS11, I love it. Oh, look at that smoke. Oh, just like a real Alco. That's awesome. Joyce Lund says, "What's your thoughts on the Spokane, Portland, and Seattle Railroad?" I haven't heard of that one before, so I can't really give an opinion on it. But in my opinion, all railroads are cool. Oh, look at that. I believe that is 5001 if I'm correct. And it's got the marker lights and everything. I have 5001, but it's in its other paint scheme. It's in the yellow dip or whatever you want to call it. Oh, ain't that thing awesome? Again, if you're enjoying this stream, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. It helps a lot. I don't know why. The red wheels kind of make me think of the 70s like thing where everyone had the red wheels around their muscle cars instead of a white wall, a red wall or whatever. Kind of like that. But that's such a cool scheme. I like it. I don't get what people have against it. Oh, what a pretty caboose, too. Wow. The lights, the figure, and everything. X Cool 101 says, "Any thought on the Ma and Pa Railroad? I used to live near the old right of way. It's now a walking trail. I've wanted a little Ma and Pa thing for such a long time. They're such a neat little railroad. I love them. I believe they still have that Nick. If Nick's Crossing is still here, he's been to it. Or perhaps you might know of it, X Cool, but there's where they have the little diesel. I can't remember if it's a GP7 or if it's an NW2 or whatever it is, but they have that little thing. I don't even know if it's still functional or if it's an Alca. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I think it's a Jeep, I think. I don't know, but they have that little thing. That's probably like the only mom and pop thing I know besides the one Strasbourg boxcar. And there you go. That's the entire layout right there. What I'd love to do is just if Chris did like a 24-hour like thing of his layout just running so it could like be sounds to put you to sleep. I could listen to those trains all day. Alco diesels, honorary steam engines with all the smoke they make. True, true. And what I love too is how the main line splits up going by the bridge. It's so cool. Let's see. X Cool 101 says Strasbourg does have one existing engine. Forest Hill Train Shop has a place to shop. Yeah. I like how the MTH transformers have all the moving numbers on it. Kind of gets you an idea of how much, I guess, voltage it's consuming. Yeah, CJ, what you saw earlier was 4,000. I saw that one probably what in February, but it's all dirty now. Oh yeah, ain't that beautiful? So I think this is going to Chris. I'm not sure if he can hear me right now because he's trying to move around all the trains. But he says, "What's the smallest engine you have?" I believe Chris has his daughters have a little tiny, like train set. I'm not sure what one it is, but that's a very tiny little locomotive. But I'm sure Chris can tell you. There it is, folks. The famous bridge shot. And we got the perfect pen too right now. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Then this Santa, the war about it, F Santa Fe's though, those look really good too. Everything he has looks really good. Oh, those are awesome. Trainer 97 says, "Imagine 4014 painted like 39 499." That'd be funny. What a beautiful little RS11. I don't know what keeps happening. I keep on crashing. I was like, I hope it doesn't happen again. Man, ain't that everybody? I feel everybody in chat. Can we get like the little applause emoji? That was incredible. I love that so much. And that's what's awesome about this layout too, is you can operate it on it for hours on end. Like my layout, you can do that as well, but not to the same degree like this. Like look at all those tracks. It's incredible. Oh no, Carter, that's terrible. He says under tornado warning, so I gotta head out. All right, Carter, stay safe, my friend. Oh, hope you're all right then. See you later, buddy. And there she be. The 4014. Oh, ain't that special?
Union Pacific 4014. I'm made up. Am I clear to the outbound? Over. Yes, 4014. You may proceed. Over. Roger that. Here we go. 4014 on.
That sounded literally everybody. That sounded exactly like 4014. Like close your eyes and I'd think I'm there. Oh, that was awesome. Yep, same here. Gasps when I hear. No, I'm like that's music to my ears, literally. Let's go DNH.
Dispatch said we have to stop.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that thing.
Yeah, there was an electrical storm here last night that knocked out all the crossing signals in this area.
Oh, I could go on about how awesome crew talk is forever and how every locomotive should have it. Oh, that that was incredible, my friend. I don't even know what to say.
We're done for the day. 414 out.
I will say I've always liked the Niagara's whistle as well. Since we're here,
Since we're here.
trying to get in closer.
I've heard those quite a bit before. Yeah.
Turning the engine over to the Hostler. We're heading for the Y. Out.
Wow, it's so quiet in here now, Corey. I don't know what to do with myself.
I know. Yeah, really. I do that. It happens to me too when I run trains and it stops. I'm like, whoa, why is it so quiet? Oh, that was incredible. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. Oh, that was, I don't know. Now you kind of have me tossing between what things were my favorite. That DNH has a good spot in my heart, but man, some of that other stuff you have is incredible. Oh, yeah, I got everyone to do applause emojis earlier as a thank you for that. That's just too cool. I saw some questions earlier. One person asked, what's your smallest locomotive out of curiosity?
Probably
Really?
this one. At present, yes.
And is that all modern with all the, yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, this is an MTH B&O American. So yeah, that one is probably the smallest steam engine. I would really like to get one of those like 44 tonners, but
Yeah, yeah, me too. Ray, how you doing? Golden Leaf Road. You're kind of sadly, you're kind of hopping in at the end of the stream here, but we still have a little more time left. Out of curiosity, Chris, I'm thinking of getting those. Who makes those buildings right there? Those look awesome.
so these are just the Woodland Scenics buildings. They come pre-built like this because I am not a scratch builder by any means.
Me neither.
So I was like, I need something that looks really good. And these were it. Ton of detail.
Yeah, and they got the interiors too. That's
They
great.
do.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't quite get my angle up here, but yeah, they're really great. They come pre-lit. You can actually buy their lighting kit, or you can just splice the wire. You just have to.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one where it would have like the little kind of, I'm not sure how to describe it. I have some Menard stuff. Is it like a kind of just plug and play thing, or do you need kind of some more, I don't know, or do you need skill, I guess, to put that thing in?
No, anybody can do it. You just basically clip off their Molex connector with a pair of wire cutters, and then just hook it up to your power supply. These are just getting fed 16 volts from my post-war ZW transformer. That's what powers pretty much all the buildings on the layout.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's like one transformers kind of for the buildings and others for the trains. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just using the other posts on it because it has 4 posts.
Uh-huh. Also, I gotta know who makes the old B&O target signal. That thing looks great too.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Not yeah, that I just have arbitrarily wired in. This was an MTH piece. I do need to add like one of those track activators. Right now, it's just sort of
Mm-hmm.
wire so everything's lit up. But yeah, that was an MTH signal piece right there.
Do
Most
you
of
know?
the signals are. That's the same thing. Like over
Oh.
here, I have a crossing gate that is going to be wired in soon. Like this one here is an MTH piece as well.
How that's the thing. Everyone knows the story of me and my crossings. How do you think that would work? Would it just be like the simple old insulated rail thing, or I'm not sure what I'd have to do
So
for that stuff.
I use the IR activators, which
Oh yeah, yeah.
they get mixed reviews, but they're easy to install and they just work. Like this one here, like there's an MTH one, and then they look really modern. So if you're modeling like a specific era, they don't fit in everywhere. I think that's been sort of
Yeah.
back. So, but you get like the Z stuff for trains versions where you can hide them or put them under the table.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of options there. But yeah, there's the Lionel version sitting over there. Those are actually connected to this particular signal right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what that was operating off of. Okay. Would you say if you have any preference, like what if you had to get an IR sensor, what one would you choose?
They both work the same in my opinion. I would love to try the Z stuff. I know a lot of people use those and have great success as well. I think they all pretty much do the same thing. You just sort of set them for your preference.
Yeah.
I can remount my camera here. Answer any
Yeah.
last questions.
So while he's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long talk. I've had, of course, Chris on. Well, still am having Chris on, of course. But wait, let me get us back to the even squares there. I was back on this side. So it's been a long stream. We started at 7 p.m. But thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a little while, not as long as last Sunday where I was on for 3 hours nearly with Carter and Harrison. That was fun. But this has also been such a blast as well. It's so cool seeing all of Chris's trains run, getting to know the story behind RBP trains and some exclusive, I guess, information. If you just came in, you'll have to go back to the beginning to watch some stuff that Chris told us about the future and just other things like, likes what trains he likes and all that fun stuff. So it's been such a great time, of course, having you on. If anybody has any last few questions, of course, we're both open for that stuff. I love it so much. You all have been asking some great questions this entire stream. I've enjoyed it so dang much. It's not every day you get to have RBP trains on. Just saying.
Not every day you get to talk to ours trains. What are you talking about?
Just saying. No, yeah, but this has been so much fun, though.
It's been a blast, Corey.
Yeah.
No, I'm really glad to be a part of the stream. Like I said, I've been watching you and your collection for a while. I remember when I first saw you, and I was like, "Man, that guy's running post-war stuff," and he's, seeing like a young guy running post-war. That was always kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see it. Well, I see it. I know a few young guys, but yeah, kind of the older stuff with the modern kids. It's always a lot of fun to meet young guys like, you or I in the hobby and just kind of relate, because I know there's a lot of older gentlemen in the hobby. Nothing wrong with them. They have amazing stories, but it's something kind of about finding more of the young guys in the hobby. And it kind of feels like we can relate to each other. And it's like, hey, I don't know this. What's your opinion on it? Like, oh, yeah, I know this. I don't know. Just that stuff.
There's a growing number of younger modelers out there who are doing this, and they have a really big fascination and appreciation for the vintage trains. And it's a different perspective because we didn't grow up with it. We don't have the memory of opening it up as a birthday or a Christmas present or seeing it when it was new. We've only ever known it as, as a secondhand or heirloom, right? So it's so different for us. But there is a group of people that really appreciate, and we'll keep it going. So anyone who's watching this who's worried about the hobby, we're on the right track.
We're
unintended. Moving forward.
We need the drum thing there. We need the drum thing there. But yeah, I say the same thing. I know so many young kids, who are in this hobby, and people are like, oh, this hobby's gonna be nothing by like 10 years. I'm like, But there's so many young kids I know who love this stuff. Like a lot of them more than the HO. I know a lot of young kids in the HO. I know a few in the O gauge though, but still, it's a lot of fun though. Especially when I did my train show thing. I'm going to be going again back to the Albany train show to bring my Littleville. But when I set up my old post-war layout in front, and for a Santa Claus thing that they were doing in some old train station. It was so, oh, I haven't like one kid's reaction on camera. It was like, I almost brought tears to my eyes, but it was running around trains and he was so freaking excited to see them. All the other kids enjoyed it, but eventually moved on to Santa. But this kid would keep coming back in to watch the trains with his, I think it was his grandmother or something, and just seeing his smile. Like I got it on camera of him smiling, going around. I'm like, that's where it's going to be. The hobby's going to live through kids like that.
It's timeless. I was, I had some friends over today. Quick story. They have 2 young sons and they were down here with me most of the day, and they wanted to run everything in the room. But I told them, I'm like, hey, I'm on a live stream tonight, so I got some specific stuff. It's going to stay here. But yeah, they're like, let's run that one and that one and that one. They love it. It's a timeless hobby. I think it's really great.
Yeah.
Favorite manufacturer? I see the question.
Oh, yep, that's Ed.
Man, that's a hard one. See, I have favorite pieces by all of the manufacturers. So between Lionel and MTH and Atlas, and I'm going to be looking at some third rail stuff soon. So
all right,
be looking out for that. Got something heading my way that's going to be on the channel. It's gonna
all
be
right, wait. I got to pull up the banner again. I'll get to your question in just a sec. But remember, RBP Trains right there. So when he reveals whatever his third rail thing is, you can be there to see it. Anyways, favorite? I'm not sure.
I would have to say, I think Lionel is probably my go-to for a lot of reasons, but I don't know. It's such a difficult question, but I don't want to leave you hanging with no answer. So Lionel, if I had to say it.
If he had to say Lionel, I don't know. Ed, that's a tough one. HO for me is probably going to be Athearn just because I like their stuff. But O-Gauge, that's really tough because just like you, there's so many cool things that each and every manufacturer has made, So I'm not quite sure. I might probably just say Lionel just because of how much they've made that covers so many of my favorite railroads, like Atlas O. I've never seen them make D&H. MTH has a lot of, well, not a lot though, but a few cool D&H stuff. But I guess really all you have to do to win my heart is just start doing that D&H stuff. And then all right, we got Corey's side. Just make a ton of these outgoes. And he'll be happy. He'll be with us. But I'm probably going to say Lionel though, because everything that I've have a lot of good memories with has been Lionel. The pre-war stuff, the post-war, the MPC trains my grandfather raised me up with, and always hearing the term Lionel trains, just rolls off your tongue so smooth. So I'm going to say Lionel for O-Gauge because I have so many memories. As I look around this room, just all my Lionel trains, I can name so many memories with each and every piece. Just for a quick example, here's a really terrible old-timey Sunoco car. It looks trash, but this is one of my childhood pieces, so
Absolutely.
Things like that. So I saw another question somewhere down there. I'm going to have to dig for it. DNH2906 Production says, both of you, what's on your bucket list of locomotives to get right now?
Well, I think a similar question was asked earlier. So if I had to think about it, it would be a bucket list engine would be the 700E Hudson by Lionel pre-war. That would be... It's probably the set. Also, as I mentioned in the girls set video, I would love a post-war version of that. Those are my 2 big bucket list items. I'm always going to want things that are coming out that are new, but those are a little bit more attainable because they're here and they're cataloged. But finding a 700E or a girls set, is difficult, especially for me.
That's a good question though, DNH. Thank you. Bucket list. I don't know. My bucket list is pretty simple. I would probably just Chris, do you know of this one? I can't remember what it's called. It's is it called the Texas Zephyr? It's not the California Zephyr, but it's a Lionel MPC F3 set and it's all chrome. I don't know what it is, but it's the coolest thing ever.
Oh,
it's
one of my collector's guides has it in it, and I was looking at it, and yes. That would be a great set.
It's so cool. That is the set you got to have under the Christmas tree. Just because all the lights are going to reflect off of it going underneath. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to let that thing get a single bit of dust on it, though, just because it's so shiny. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, after the stream's over or whatever, just Google in or type in Lionel. It's either a Burlington Zephyr or a Texas Zephyr. They catalog it as, I think, this Texas Zephyr, but it's a Burlington diesel. But still, it's such a pretty set for being an MPC F3. I mean, that's another thing about MPC I love because there's so many cool different theme sets, but that one right there, I don't have any ties to it or anything, but I just remember flipping through a catalog not too long ago, one that my grandfather had, and it's so dang cool just to see that thing, the image, and it's so shiny. And I sadly had the opportunity to get the entire set for $400, the locomotives, the rare B unit, and all like 6-7 passenger cars, all with their original box, all in really good shape. But I got it for my two new instead of that, I got my two New Havens instead just because I didn't have room at the time. And now the New Havens have crapped out. So now I kind of really wish I went with those Texas Zephyrs or whatever. They look so cool. But I would not be surprised in the future if I see that thing somehow make an appearance on your layout, because that is a cool dang set I'm sure everyone wants.
We'll have to try to look for it at York. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be there. Anything you want is at York. It's just what you're willing to pay. That's all. York's going to be a lot of fun, though. I know someone's probably going to mention that, but I think everyone I know, including myself, is going to York. How many days is York? 3?
3 days.
3 days. So
Friday, Saturday.
it's going to be 3 big O-scale days. 3 big 3-rail days. Not quite sure how you phrase that. You get the idea. Let's see. We'll probably take a few more questions and we'll get going on here. But Ed, thank you again for another question. He says, what is your favorite era for each manufacturer? That might take a little while to answer, Ed.
So Lionel, post-war. MTH would be, I love the PS3 stuff. Some people may say Proto 1 was the best, and Proto 1 was a great product. I just my entry point was around the time where PS3 was popular. And I like the performance of that. I've had good luck with it. And I'm just getting into Atlas. So we'll be doing some Atlas stuff. And I'm becoming very enamored with the Atlas product line.
And then you could say, yeah. Then you could say Menards too. You know, their only era right now is beginning.
That engine came out of nowhere. I just got lucky that I had a friend who told me it was coming out.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that one is actually over at my dad's layout right now. But yeah. Menards will be an interesting. Yeah, everybody watch.
Will be. Yep.
Everyone knows. Yeah, just keep an eye on them. It could be a disruptor for sure.
And how fast did that thing sell out? I heard it was gone within an hour, right?
Yeah, it was gone by the afternoon. I got mine in as soon as I was sent the link. I ordered it, and it was gone by like 3 p.m.
Really? Dang. And how many did they make though? Was it only 100 or something? Or?
There were 200. 200 made.
That's a good collector's piece, definitely. That's like your 700E just Menards and F3. Yeah. But there you go.
Boy, that's going to be really. If that comment ages well, Corey, we're going to owe you a lot of money one day.
Yeah, really. Oh, that's the thing, though. It's really cool, though. I hope Menards gets a really good foot in the hot. Well, they already have with all the rolling stock, but I really hope they get even better tooling and all that stuff, so they can even destroy the O-scale market and make some great quality, cheap stuff for people who are trying to get into the hobby. That's where I think it counts. Because again, I know so many people would love to get into O gauge, but when they see the big price tag, for at least the new stuff, it's like, I'm not sure I want to do that. So Menards, if you're listening, come on, the time is now. You got to make some more stuff. We'd all love it.
I think they're well aware of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They don't need me to remind them. But let's see. I think I saw one more question. That's probably all we'll take. Okay. Caboose 1973 says, both of you, what is your favorite named passenger train? Huh.
That is a great question.
That is a really good question. Mine's pretty easy. I'm probably going to say the Montreal Limited from the D&H just because it went by me. And, it's cool. And it sounds very fancy.
Yeah, mine would probably have to be. If I was I'm trying to think. There was a famous passenger train. It's had a couple of variations, and it was the Royal Blue out of Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
There is something about that line that fascinates me. Being in East Coast, Mid-Atlantic guy, so much of that rail history some of it's maintained, but a lot of it's been erased. And you see like the Mount Clair rail station in Baltimore and some of these historical landmarks. And I just love to imagine what it was like, in the heyday of steam, right? And what that steam train must have been like. I have a set of it, the MTH version, that I will eventually run, but it is I think it's one of my most favorite sets.
Mhm.
And it's a passenger train that's always fascinated me. And I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. This is gonna you're giving me some homework to do, Corey, or the comments here. This is
Yeah,
great.
really. Yeah,
Making me think.
yeah. I'm gonna be starting homework in a week. I won't enjoy it, but yeah, same here. You know, with the blue comet, I've had that set for ages, but I don't know much about the actual history. And that's the thing. I should have said blue comet. That's the OG train when it comes to all this stuff. But blue comet's definitely up there, though. It's such a cool train. You know, it's kind of like somewhat streamlining or fancy passenger trains before they were really cool. Like that was like the entry point right there. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, named passenger trains with cool colors are cool. Then boom, Broadway Limited. Then all the Pennsy and stuff like that.
So many amazing ones. I mean, I would love a Dreyfus Hudson and a 20.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm looking.
They're out there. Those things are cool. I'm shocked more people aren't into them. Those are very fun ones. Oh, Steve says, gotta run. Take care, guys. Corey, Chris, RW, and Harrison. Bye bye. Well, Steve, thank you for
See you, Steve.
Steve, you've been here like the entire time, so thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Oh, can't wait to see you next time. Very good question by John Train BFGR. How do you afford this hobby? Chris, I'll leave it to you. I don't quite know how I even do this. Well, I have, my parents kind of do a lot for me, but Chris, how do you afford this stuff?
Yeah, so it's a kind of an odd one to answer, right? But there's a train budget that I have, negotiated with the missus. That's how we do it, right?
That's how you do it.
Funds aside, and then when we need to allocate for other things, we do. But that's really what it is. It's difficult. I agree with a lot of people. It's a very challenging hobby to get into when you look at the price of some of these models. And I've been really fascinated with the Lion Chief line and some of the development they're doing there. And I'm hoping we'll see some of these competitors, that will challenge and disrupt and bring prices down, right? But we're also in a time where manufacturing is difficult and shipping's high, and I'm seeing that. I work in technology, right? We see that everywhere. But yeah, that's how right now it's setting aside and budgeting for it. I wish I could budget more for it. But
don't we all?
We have to eat.
Just wish. Yeah, the food comes first. Or well, for me, trains. I can take a few days without food as long as I got my 681 and my blue commie. I'll be fine, folks. But
right.
Yeah, I get you. But it can be like that sometimes. But I don't think I see any other questions though. So I don't even know what to say. But Chris, it's been such a pleasure to have you on. It's been such a great stream. We've covered a lot of dang ground. It's been 2 hours. I did not think we'd be going this long, but sometimes you gotta go that long just to fit everything in. We didn't even fit everything in.
Having fun and running trains. Yeah, no.
There you go. Actually, all right, come on. When you come out with your own merch line, that better be a slogan. Like, come on. I could see it already. Oh, that'd be awesome, though. So, yeah, it seems like it is getting a bit late, at least up here in the Ward household. But, Chris, again, thank you so much for being on. I've known you for quite a while, but it's a pleasure to finally have you on the wait. For me, it's right here, Sunday RUNDAY Live. So I don't know what else to say. It's been so much fun, though. I'm speechless after that run and that beautiful RS11. I love it so much.
Just for you. Thank you so much for having me, Corey. This has been great. Thank you all who've been watching and all the questions.
Yes, thank you all.
It's a lot of fun to be able to actually talk to people, even if it's through chat and video. And I appreciate the opportunity, Corey. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been I knew it had been for a while in my head that I gotta get Chris on someday. I gotta get Chris. And I'm sorry to everyone. I've been so busy with a lot of different things going on. But hey, now is the time, and the time has come, and it's been awesome doing this, of course. So we'll have to have you on next time if you ever get some more D&H stuff and when you get that backdrop in finished. So you can say, the layout is finally finished, but as the saying goes, I don't know, a layout's truly never finished, but from a budgetary perspective, it's kind of finished. So you got the idea there. But yeah, anyways, thank you again, everyone, so much for watching. I see some people who have been here the entire time. I don't know how you got that type of free time. So thank you all so much. Again, one more time, I got to get the banner up. Make sure if you are not already to subscribe to Chris's channel, RBB Trains. He's about to hit 10K. I know you're at 8,000, but really, when you blink, he'll be there at 10K. I'm hoping by the end of the year, so I can say my predictions right, I'm going to say late November, early December is when we're gonna see the beautiful 5 digits. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I got my math right. I'm not the best at math, but there you go. So there you go. I'm fried from the night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I can do 1 + 1. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for swinging in. Make sure to go subscribe. I guess I got the point right this time again. Make sure to go subscribe to Chris and check out his stuff. And if you want to see about one thing he dropped earlier in the stream, not physically dropped, don't worry. That one thing he dropped about him and classic toy trains, you'll have to rewatch earlier to this stream because it's gonna be awesome. That's all I can leave at that. So, anyways. Thank you all again for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic night. We got a lot of things. Next stream, make sure to also tune in. We're going to do Ars Train's birthday because, again, for those who are tuning in, today was the channel's 3rd birthday. It's weird to think that, I don't know why, I kind of compare it to that. If a kid was born when I made Ars Trains in 2018 and now it's a healthy 3-year-old, like, that's crazy. How long ago did I make this freaking thing? I don't know. It's been a lot of fun.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, really, but just I don't have to worry about the whining. The channel doesn't speak back. The channel doesn't talk back. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much. Make sure to stay in for next weekend. I'll see y'all in the next video / live stream / whatever I do. So I guess stay tuned. Bye everybody. I hope you all have a very fantastic night. And Chris, thank you again, my friend.
Thank you, Corey.
It's been awesome.
Right. Ars Trains, everyone.
Ours, but wait, I need the outro. Oh yeah, I do have the outro. Boom. And then boom, got it right there. I'm not sure if they can still hear us, but hey, it's been a lot of fun though. So Chris, thank you so much, my friend, for being on. It's gonna be a lot. I can't wait to see you next time.
Oh, absolutely. So I wasn't sure if we're still on.
I think we are, but whatever. Hey, hello everybody. As you're watching the outro, you can hear us talk, but it's been a lot of fun though. So I gotta get skedaddling now. I don't know how it's quite working. If you can hear us, it's all in the works, baby. We don't know quite how it works yet, but it's been a lot of fun though. So Chris, you have a very good night, my good friend. It'll be fun to talk. I gotta keep talking with you because this has been awesome, and I can't wait to hear more updates. But hey, look, we're back about all those. I don't know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It's tough. Whatever. You get the idea. But Chris, keep in touch, my friend. Have a very good night.
You too. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.